Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I am your host, Lou Betya of the Happy Hour. I'll address two quick things before we start the picks. Number one, Monk going through some stuff. He's accessible on Twitter. It's my boy. He will be back when he is ready. Till that point, just me. And I have no live viewers right now. So this is perfect. I will just set this up and say that there's a lot of people in the community right now with a lot of hatred toward homosexuality, and it's weird to me. And all I can tell you is it's not too late. You can learn about other people. Don't be scared. There's people being, I don't like all this hatred I see in the community right now for that. If you want to hate Jeff Molina, hate him for the gambling stuff. I don't care about his personal life. I don't care about anybody's personal life. We're all here to win money. That's what I feel like this community should be geared on. Let's keep it toward that. Okay, so I have an uncommon amount of few viewers today, but I am pulling this up right now, and I am going to mow through the card. So thank you for spending your afternoon. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you're subscribed. And let's go. And after every fight, I will take questions if you have them. Veronica Hardy against Juliana Miller. Don't bet this fight. By the way, I'm up 30 units this year. Oh, yeah, I'm up 30 units. So I know what I'm doing here. Juliana Miller against Hardy. I would favor Miller in the distance, minus 110. Do not know if I will get there. I only have one track bet on this card. I'll get to it as it comes up. Hardy is so bad. Like Fook in MMA. That's a great name, by the way. Respect. Hardy is bad. She was bad 3 years ago. She was bad 4 years ago. I can't imagine not fighting made her better. Miller is aggressive. She goes for takedowns. She's good at top control. The one thing I will say here is we had a minus 400 favorite last week at women's MMA, JJ Aldrich, and I said, do not bet this fight. If you have to, take the Lipsky side. There's a very big difference between this minus 400 favorite and Aldrich. With Aldrich as a minus 400 favorite, you needed Lipsky to have bad takedown defense, which she didn't, and you needed Aldrich to constantly go for it, which she tried a couple of times and failed. Lipsky was just so much clearly the better fighter on the feet that you knew your bet was dead in 3 minutes. This is a little different because I don't know where Hardy's better. There's nowhere this fight can be where Hardy's better. Her win condition is meme armbar. I see people playing fight doesn't go the distance. I think that's a good look too. Miller ITD for me is what I would give as a pick, but I haven't gotten there yet. Minus 110 last I looked. Okay, the battle of two fighters. What's up, Sean? Welcome to the chat. The battle of two fighters that have given me PTSD betting wise. The Black Country Banger, Jai Herbert against Ludovic Klein. I like Klein better at 155. I think he's pacing his cardio better. I think you look at the fights that he lost, like especially the Landwehr fight more than anything, not the Trezano fight, but these are guys that put a lot of pressure on Klein. His cardio didn't hold up. 155 is a good move. He's cutting less weight. Jai Herbert, not good. Not a good fighter at all. And his last fight against Kyle Nelson was him overcompensating for the fact that every time he gets tagged, he loses. Stylistically, this probably compares to the Jai fight against Topuria, where Topuria was a shorter guy. Herbert had a lot of success in that first round, too. I know that Topuria took that fight on pretty short notice, and he took it up a weight class from usual, but I think Klein here is going to mind his P's and Q's. His best weapon is the head kick. I don't know how he hits a head kick knockout here. Like, I don't just size-wise, I don't know how he does it. I think Klein can kind of stay out of trouble. I think he can make this greasy. I think the second and third rounds he can take over. To me, the best bet, and I'm not saying bet this, I kind of like the over 1.5 here. I think it's going to be a really boring fight. I've seen people on Fight Doesn't Go. I've seen people on Klein. So, yeah, my pick is the over 1.5 here. I lean Klein, but I don't like him at 190. Let's look at chat. Will I take a victory lap? I mean, I will tell you that the person that gave me this source is a sexy motherfucker, and he told me to break it on air, and I think that's great. Buffalo on the beat, welcome chat. I heard Monk is going through some major life changes. Is he pulling a Bruce Jenner? He is, I can say for sure, he is 93% not going to come back as Monk S. Statistics. Sean saying Klein 16-19 fights have finished. Look, man, I know what I'm, but more importantly for me, Sean, is that his 2 fights at 155 have not. He's not fighting the same way he used to. He's kind of coming in now like he's content to grind against the cage, stay out of trouble. I'm like he's not the same guy. He's not very exciting anymore. I almost think Landwehr took the soul out of him. We got Justin Villegas here. Our guy comes in all the chats. He got the over 1.5 to Lidze, has banged Miller all this week. I'm going to take the under for the sole reason, and I don't like to make comments like this. Miller, she dances to her own drum, man, and I don't know what she's into, but I don't know that like hairy Georgian guy is her type. But next time she fights, I may have a different opinion. I don't know. Very briefly, Joanne Wood against Luana Carolina. I see a lot of love for Joanne Wood this week. I don't know how you bet her at minus 180, minus 190. She's talked about retirement. She's older. Luana Carolina is not that good of a fighter. She can't defend takedowns, but I don't know that Wood's going to go for takedowns here, especially like if she needs to conserve cardio. Do not bet this fight. There is no angle here at all. Dog or pass. Let's move on. Jake Hadley versus that fatty Malcolm Gordon coming in heavy. Malcolm, the Iron Chin Gordon. Kristen, welcome to the chat. Nice to see you again, my love. This is a weird fight for me because what do you make of Hadley? The Nascimento loss, he looked terrible, but Nascimento now seems like he's kind of figuring it out. Hadley, yeah, the cheeseburger. Malcolm, the cheeseburger Gordon. Look, man, I got to say this. Gordon, I will love him the rest of my life. When he beat Figueiredo, he almost won me $100,000 in a DK lineup. And then that goddamn Misha Tate decided to put up like 200 points against Renault and screw me over. But I think Gordon's like, look, man, everybody hates him. His chin stinks. I get it, man. He's all right, though. And like, he's not, this fight's going to probably play out on the ground. He had Makayev in a couple of bad spots. Like, he's not bad. I would rather play time props here. Like, the pick for the show is Hadley. I would rather play a time prop here. I think Gordon can get him out of there by sneaky, weird meme submission, which if you stick with me for a little bit, not going to be the only meme submission I'm going to talk about, but Hadley should have him covered everywhere. I see people playing the Hadley KO as what they think is a sneaky prop. The problem is it's like plus 225. Like, you're better off playing Hadley in the distance. It was minus 135 last I looked. Just cover both ends. He could get a submission here. He'd get a ground and pound knockout. I wouldn't distinguish between the methods. I think Hadley in the distance is probably your best bet. But man, Malcolm Gordon, he's sneaky and like it's a setup fight for Hadley for sure. But I don't know how good he really is, man. Like I just don't know. All right, moving on now. Here's where I'm gonna differentiate from the crowd. We have Christian Leroy Duncan against Dusko Todorovic, or as best fight odds loves calling him, Todorover. There's a lot of people high on Leroy Duncan. So what I'll say about him is, yeah, he's only 7-0, and like his pro experience is Cage Warriors. His amateur career is pretty extensive. I mean, this is a dude who's never been finished. He's fought 30 sometimes. Like his experience level belies his record. I think he's incredibly talented. But the problem I have here, laying this number, and his in the distance number is minus 150. The problem I have here is he's shown he just cannot stop takedowns. He can't. On the flip side, you have Dusko. I mean, I never know what to make of Dusko. I'm sure everybody in this chat, everybody in the betting community has PTSD from the under 1.5 with him and Jordan Wright. Jordan Wright decided to be grapply, and Todorovic could not stop a takedown. He was 0 for 4 on takedowns, I believe. But I think Dusko is the better fighter here. I think he's more well-rounded. And if you're betting Duncan, you're betting that he bonks Dusko when he hits the chin. And I just don't know how you get there. And even on time props here, like I think Dusko's best win condition is decision, is just grindy decision. So I'm going to give you 2 ways to bet this fight, because I can't bet this fight pre-fight, or I can't bet this fight like a normal bet. If you like Dusko, Duncan's never been finished, even in his amateur career. The dude's tough. Cage My IQ, welcome to the chat, my friend. Welcome. We're doing a WrestleMania show very soon. Talk about all the angles. Dusko is the kiss of death salary to 7,500. I'm going to leave this up here as I break this down, because I haven't talked about the DraftKings side yet, because there's nobody I like in DraftKings yet. If you like Dusko, I like the decision prop. It means he got the wrestling going. It means he got top control, because Duncan can't stop a takedown. And I don't love his get-up game. If Duncan wins, he's getting a knockout, and it's probably in the first 2 rounds. As far as the DraftKings go, there's not a lot. Like, this is a very heavily juiced card. I love Dusko here at 7,500, because if he does win, even a decision victory for him, he got at least 3 takedowns. He controlled minutes in the round. He's pretty active too when he's gotten takedowns. He's not a lay and pray guy. So he's throwing strikes. He's getting you ground control. I'm not saying like roster 100% of them, but he's a sneaky good guy here, because I think Leroy Duncan's going to have a ton of ownership. He's a cheaper price. I'm doing the math. He's 8,700, I guess. If Dusko's 75, right? He's 87. I don't want to take an unknown guy here that's knockout dependent. He wants in a WrestleMania show. Well, Cage My IQ and I will let people know when that's happening. And if there are betting lines, I'm in. I am in. Guys, I'm going to take a short break. Happy St. Patty's Day. It's amateur hour out at the bars. I'm not dealing with that shit. If old granddad is watching this, sponsor me. I am interested. I'll sell you a product right now. Old granddad. Your wife will know the mood you're in. Old granddad. Moving on. The only tracked bet, and by tracked, I mean literally the only bet I have to this point. Lerone Murphy against Gabrielle Santos. Let me just go back to Sean right here before Dusko's beating nobody. Yeah. Sean, I know. Sean, this is a tricky fight. I'm just saying I don't have the blind faith at minus 200 for a debutante. I'm not saying bet Dusko. I'm kind of saying I don't even like the time props, man, because if Dusko wins, doesn't he like just kind of just ground and pound him where the crowd's booing? It's a tricky fight for me. This one, so I have a track bet, and I may arb out of it, ironically enough, is Lerone Murphy. I got a minus 135 on Sunday. He is now minus 175, 180 against Gabriel Santos. The Ramon Murphy side. I like what I've seen from him, obviously, in his career. But he got in a little bit of trouble against Mr. Finland, the Mirkani. Like he did. He lost the first round, and then Mr. Finland does what he does. He gasses the fuck out, and Murphy tagged him perfectly. Santos is really interesting because I think he's got talent. If you watch his regional tape, he has some talent, but he's been like 10-8'd twice. Like he just gets owned in rounds. He's reckless, and he's relied on his toughness. So there's a lot going against Santos this week. The short notice, the travel, he's the road team. And also, this is the first time he's ever fought out of Brazil, which I think is really interesting. I favor Murphy here. There's a lot of people on the Murphy KO. I actually hate that prop. If you've been following me, if you've been watching the shows, one of the angles that I've cut down on is in the distance props against undefeated regional fighters because we don't know how they deal with adversity. Now, with Santos, he's dealt with adversity and he fights through it. So I'm not convinced that Murphy off a layoff is going to knock him out unless it's like a one-hit quit shot. I favor Murphy decision here. I actually like the split decision at plus 550, but I think Murphy gets it done. I think Murphy round 2, round 3 will take over. I also think that Murphy is a great live entry. If Santos wins the first round, I think you're going to get Murphy at like plus 150. I like it a lot. So that's the pick. Big Tasty, my dude, fix to go up 20. Hey, man, I'm up 30 for the year. People sleeping on this motherfucker. People sleeping on me. I'm legend in this space. I just don't charge VIP. Everything's free. All right, Mikhaev, Filio. Let's get the one thing out of the way. Mikhaev has a rumored shoulder injury. That doesn't affect the bet I'm going to give out here. I like the over 1.5 a lot. I know my buddy Mike, Couch Warrior, tweeted this a couple days ago. Filo's tough. The problem is he has no takedown defense, but Mikhaev is not some urgent round 1 finisher in his career. He finished Durden, but it happened on the feet. It was some weird sequence on the feet where Durden went for he hit the B, A, and X buttons at the same time. He did some spinny weird shit he'd never practiced, and Mikhaev's like, okay, and just clocked him and got him out of there. He couldn't finish Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson, incredibly tough. One of my by the way, Charles Johnson, not that you were ever watching the show, love your style, dude. His get-up game was great that fight. Malcolm Gordon had success against Mikhaev. I know he has a good amateur career. I know he's young. I know they're trying to bring him along the right way. But Filo's a tough dude, man. And Filo on the ground, he does what I love the most. He'll fight for submissions for that first 20, 25 seconds and then be like, okay, cool, I got to get up. I think Filo can survive here. I like Mikhaev decision. I like the overs here, over 2.5. Fight goes however you want to play it. I mean, I'll never tell you to bet a minus 800 guy unless it's Bo Nickel. But I like over 1.5 here. I think Filo can stretch him. I think Filo can I think Filo's going to probably get dominated, but he's going to fight for your money on the ground. He's not going to get caught in something. And I don't know that Filo has the skill that Malcolm Gordon does to reverse positions on the ground. Filo is great on the stand-ups, way better. His striking is way better. But I think he can kind of extend Mikhaev here. And Mikhaev's going to win a boring 30-27 decision. And he's going to ask for the $50,000 check. If there's a bet that his post-fight interview will suck and be him spewing nonsense at minus 250, Vegas Dave, max bet on that. Don't take a boost. Don't parlay fights. Hey, my buddy Pat, go watch all his stuff this week. Did stuff with Couch Warrior, did stuff with Clinton, sup bitches. That is how you address our crew. Let's move on. Sam Patterson against man, all week I have just had to restrict from jokes. So I'm just going to do the happy medium here. I'm going to call him Yanel. I'm not going to do any of the jokes that I had. I don't want to get us thrown off the air. Aaron the dog, shalom, if you're watching. I've watched the limited tape on Ashmoss that I had, and I come to the conclusion that he is not good at he's good at having his shirt off, and he's good at walking to a cage. But my God, this guy is not, there's no aspect of MMA I think he's good at. Sam Patterson, on the other hand, is also not really that good. My lean was the under of 2 jabronis, but like, I think Patterson gets this guy out. It was plus 110 when I saw it yesterday. I think it's minus 105 now. I think Patterson eventually, like, it's gonna be like Stefan Struve against an Israeli guy, and Stefan Struve, Walmart Struve is gonna wrap up some choke when Ashmaz like comes in for an entry, end of the first, middle of the second round. Big Tasty saying he took, yeah, I mean, it was plus 275, then that came down. I mean, look, guys, these last few weeks, these books, like, I'm long shot Lou over here. I love this fucking nonsense shit, and I got a couple nonsense bets coming up. But you're giving me this dude at sub at plus 225 when, like, the whole way this fight ends is Ashmaz shooting a blind takedown and Patterson hooking his neck. I don't know, man. These are all setup fights. They're like, oh, let's get Patterson a hometown win. He stinks. He's not that good. He has tall man defense. The problem is Ashmaz is like a foot and a half shorter than him, so he ain't hitting him in the head unless he's got a goddamn step ladder from, or as IKEA would call it, Schmerschlaz ladder with umlauts and shit. I give me Patterson in the distance. And I got no more to say about this fight. Oh, man, let's talk about genius fights here. So, second, Chris Duncan, not Leroy Duncan. We got Chris Duncan, who I'm going to quote or paraphrase my friend Lucrative MMA and say he's 1-1 in the Contender Series and been knocked out 6 times against Omar Morales, who has the dumbest nickname of anybody on the card on the male division. And no, I will not rip on Blonde Fighter, because Chukagian is the pride of Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Unknowing friend of the show, because I am a big fan of hers. Omar Morales coming off getting knocked out like a deflating whale by Urosh Medic. I mean, that was just the worst sound ever. And by worst, I mean like amazing. It was, that's what happened that fight. Meanwhile, Chris Duncan's striking defense, we don't have a metric that's less than 0. His striking defense is as close to less than 0 as possible. He's not good. I mean, Slava Claus tooled him. And then it's Contender Series fight. He got tagged immediately. Could Morales tag him early? I guess, but like, Morales throws no volume. If you're going to play Duncan, play the KO prop. I have nothing on this. I don't even like the under, because could Morales win like a grinding decision? I'll give you a sneaky prop here. His Morales sub was like 10-1. Like, let's see Duncan how he looks in the 3rd round after he's been tagged. He's tried everything in his playbook, which is, this is his playbook, running forward and dying. Oh, man. Like, just, don't bet this fight. Like, don't even bet the unders. Either bet Duncan KO or bet Morales decision, because Morales hasn't shown finishing ability in the UFC. Duncan is a car crash. Yeah, Omar's bad, man. Wow. Fair. That's very, 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 very fair, Buffo. That's a good comment. Duncan, yeah, he did. I mean, he gets tagged every fucking fight though. Like he's so bad. Like I'm just gonna make a bold comment that my favorite NBA player, Omer Yurtseven, is better than Omer Morales. Let's move on. Let's get to like the main card here. So, or this is like, I don't know if this is the first prelim. I guess it is. Jack Shore against Mr. Finland, Makwan Amirkhani. I see a lot of people rushing the window on Shore here and distance and like. Is Jack Shore good? Like, I don't know that Jack Shore is a very good fighter. Yeah, I mean, yes. This was plus 1,800 on DraftKings. I don't know what it is now. It's his win condition. But I'm not convinced Jack Shore. I mean, Effie's got the over 1.5. If you, and I know Couch Warrior does too. If you're taking the over 1.5 here, if you're taking over 1.5, it's really a bet on Shore. I think that's a great way to bet Shore because we know what Makwan does, man. I've seen people comparing this fight to like the Pierce fight against Amirkhani. Pierce is a way different fighter than Shore because Pierce is aggressive from the jump. He's well-rounded. I don't think Jack Shore is that good, and he's never a minus 500. There's no world where I think minus 500 is a good price for him. I don't care who the fuck he's fighting. Jack Shore should never be minus 500. I don't. Well, here's a bet I don't like. I see now. This is a bet I don't like. Well, unless you're betting like if Makwan doesn't finish, it's canceled. But I mean, I think Makwan could very easily get finished in this fight, second round, third round. You know, we've seen enough of him to know if this thing gets out of the first. But like, let's talk skill for skill. Amirkhani's a dude that beat Lerone Murphy 10-9, like easily won 10-9. Like crushed Lerone Murphy in the first round. A guy who everybody's slurping his cock. Amirkhani ruined him the first round, demolished him, and then he got caught. And he was going to die anyway because his cardio is done. Makwan Amirkhani is an incredibly skilled fighter. If the UFC was a one-round league, he is like legendary champion. I don't know that I trust Shore moving up in weight, coming off getting finished for his first loss. We don't know how he's going to come out, but at minus 500, you're batshit insane to back him. You're crazy. So I like the over 1.5 because I think that Shore kind of gets it done as the fight goes on. I've already taken the poke as a prop on Amirkhani round 1 sub. You have, if by the way, if you don't bet that, you're crazy. It's literally his money line at plus 1,800. Well, they are slurping his fucking cock, man. Like, please don't ban me, YouTube, Brady, whatever. He is. I don't know. That's a good question. You know what? Let's look it up. I'll look it up right now. I didn't mention his Tapology picture because, like, he's a dick. Was that in Vegas? Oh shit, it was. That's funny. I thought maybe the Murphy fight was in England. I'm gonna guess this Chris Fishgold site was in England. That was in Sweden. All right, Buffo. We may have to just talk about his like Euro record. It's probably all right, but plus 1,800 is yes. That is a number I gave out. 3-2 in England. All right. I mean, he's shit. Yes, Creighton. Sorry, guys. I had told people that if Monk wasn't going to be here, this whole stream was going to be you guys watching me watch basketball. Creighton, bitches. Also, Furman. You won't be on camera if you walk out, and yes, I'm live mic'd. Furman! All right, moving on. He lost to Allen in England. I'm a wild man. You had no fucking idea. By the way, Kristen, watch the very beginning of the show where I preach tolerance for my fellow brethren in this space. I don't know. I want to fight one of these dudes. Just, oh, my guy, Brian, Twitch. Go follow him on Twitter if you guys haven't already. He is compiling stats for all of us in the community. He gives us shout outs. He's doing really cool stuff. I'm going to have to talk to him about like some IT work. I think me and him could, because I don't know if Brian knows that I'm like a IT guy, database guy. Brian does really cool stuff. And he's like, all he's trying to do is promote all of us to do content. All right, let's move on to this fucking nonsense. Vettori against Roman Dolidze. All right, so let's talk about Vettori's path to victory here. It's all of them. My favorite prop for this fight is Vettori round 3 submission at plus 2,500. I gave you the angle about how I don't like betting against finished props against guys who are never been finished. But I do think that Vettori can gas out the leads bad. I think the pace Vettori is going to put on the feet, on the ground. Now, could Dolidze win by Scorpion Deathlock? Could he win by Walls of Jericho here? Like 1,000,000%. If I joke that BetMGM puts up these like ridiculous props when they don't have a lot of props. Like one time they put up Chase Sherman by Omoplata, and I'm like, okay. Like, yes, I'm rushing to the window to bet Chase Sherman by Omoplata. But if you gave me a prop that said Dolidze by Meme Sub, I'm betting it. Of course I'm betting it. Because this dude just finds ways to win. I mean, the fact that the odds makers set this line the way they did, they were like Dolidze lost every second of the Hermanson fight until he literally hit John Cena's move. He hit the fucking SDF. He was trapped. Hermanson could not do a goddamn thing. No, it doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen on the feet. It doesn't happen on the ground. I think Vettori gets him out of there and ends this experiment with Dolidze. But like, could Dolidze, and Vettori's got a brick head. Like, I don't think he's knocking him out. But could he win by like cross-faced chicken wing? Yeah, he could, dude. Oh, Cage is saying, could he win by the... Look, man, if he wins by any, like, the stump puller, if he wins by any pro wrestling submission, I'm not shocked. I just got to think Vettori's got him covered, man, and, like, fuck, man. Like, I hate this fight. And I hate that Vettori is 3-1, but, like, he's one of my safer... I really think Vettori, like... I don't know how Dolidze beats him here outside of like hysterical meme knockout. So here we go. In college, oh, I would like some of that. She didn't hear that. Roman by hip thrusts. Dude, these are like, no, but Monk is like, no, Monk is like, and look, Buffo, every time he wins, literally, Monk doesn't talk a lot of shit to me. Because like we're both like trying to win money, but Monk's like, like every time he wins, he goes, "I fucking told you." Like Monk talks so much shit to me every goddamn time he wins. Well, you know, I don't know who Vettori's with, but it's right. Fight doesn't go is kind of an interesting look here because. Like, what's the leads are going to look in the third round if Vettori is just pacing him for 10 minutes? Going to die. Or he's going to, again, hit, like, nonsense. Oh, the F5? Oh, I would... Dude, if somebody hit an F5 in a fight, I would crack up. I don't know how Deliza has decision equity. He could. Come on, Creighton is right. I'm doing what Weezy does now. I'm not reading ahead. I'm just putting them up there. So I don't really like a lot of things Justin says in general. I love all of what this is. He is literally an Old Spice commercial come to life, and I'm stealing it. Jenna Marie. Hello, my love. Jenna just getting, she's feeling her DFS oats recently. She's probably very upset I'm the only one here. Moving on, Jennifer Maya, Casey O'Neill. No bet. I favor Maya. I am not a Casey O'Neill fan at all. I don't like her attitude. I don't like her fight style. I think this reckless shit that she does against anybody who's competent. I mean, she struggled against Roxy in the third round. And I love Modafferi, but like, this is a level. Maya is way better than Modafferi. I don't think Maya's like, I wish that Maya would say, you know what my plan is? To not just like fall down on takedowns and play jujitsu for my back. If she could tell me that personally, I'd be like, I'm betting you. That's what's holding me back here. On the feet, Maya's doesn't throw the more impactful punches, but better. She's better than O'Neill. All the measurables favor Maya. Better competition. Like, O'Neill just runs. She's like a bully. Like, O'Neill's path is typically bullying people. She bullied Shevchenko. Like, I don't know. She tried to bully Modafferi, and that wasn't a split. O'Neill won that fight clearly, but Modafferi showed some resistance, and O'Neill didn't really know what to do. And in the second round and third, I think Maya can get her in really bad spots. So it's dog or pass for me here. I'm gonna give you a sneaky bet that I hate, and you'll know why I hate this. I like fight doesn't go here. It's not that I think O'Neill can really get a finish. I mean, it's live, but O'Neill's coming off a big layoff, torn ACL. I mean, what if her leg gives out, man? Like that your under hits immediately. Like it's shitty. It's a shitty thing to give out. Like I get it, but it's a pass. It's dog or pass for me. Let's move on to this fucking joke. So I'm going to defer to my very fun friend in the community, Danny Lags. If you have seen Danny Lags post, it's not the same price now, but there is this same game parlay you can do with this fight where it's one takedown in the first, doesn't matter who, and Gunnar to have most takedowns. And it was minus 115 when he put it in. It's like minus 160 now. I don't see how that does not cash. All you need is Gunnar Nelson to get a takedown in the first round, and you're winning that bet. Gunnar Nelson stinks. Like, people are there saying, oh, well, he didn't finish Sato. It's going to be different here because Sato was content to be like, cool, you got my back. Like, I'm going to just ball up. Barberena's going to try to fight out. He's going to leave his neck open. But that being said, as bad as Barberena's takedown defense has been, his cardio is still, like, really good. He never looks tired in the third round. I compare this more to the Jason Witt fight where Barberena got taken down and it was more like he was frustrated. Like, Nelson's not going to hurt Barberena. If he gets a submission, he's not hurting him first, just taking him down and getting the sub. I think Barberena can fight off his back. I think he can kind of avoid it. Barberena round 3 is kind of interesting to me. People that are like Barberena decision, I don't see how he has equity here because if Barberena is going to win, it's going to be that he flurried him on the feet. Nelson can get takedowns. And I don't see a world where Nelson doesn't get at least 2 takedowns here. Sneaky bets I hate. Yeah, I might steal it. Oh, shit, guys. Sorry. I failed you guys. This is your Yam Bag special of the day. It's got the 2 things I like. Lefty versus righty and Roman Deliza. This is your Yam Bag bet. Sorry. I apologize. This is where I need Monk. The show has structure. He's got to keep me, like, balanced. She does score a ton, dude. Like, but I don't think she's going to have it so easy here. she scores really well against bums. Yeah, I mean, he's got to avoid getting taken down. It's that simple. I'll tell you right now, if you have this bet, because I don't like the bet, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If he stuffs like the first 2 takedowns of round 1, you won. Like, this is how you won the bet. The bet's paid. That's what he needs to do. He needs to have one of the first 2 rounds where he stuffs takedowns. If he does, like, by the 3rd round, he's gonna just start tooling on him. Yeah, Barberena, yeah, he's been taken down a lot. Yeah, I mean, and Sean, look at the guys that are beating Bam Bam. Like, getting subbed by RDA is like, okay. Like, okay. And then like Luque, who's a threat on the feet. And like, dude, he's losing. Like, he's getting finished by good dudes. Gunnar Nelson stinks. I don't know, man. I don't know, Justin. I like his Tapology pick, dude. Happy Saint. You know what? All right. Happy Saint Patty's Day is right. I'm a Dago. I'm an Italian. But yeah. But while we're at it, I don't tolerate green beer. It's awful. It's stupid. It's gimmicky. Don't goddamn drink green beer. If you go to the bar, if you're a dude and you see a girl drinking green beer, you don't want to be involved in that. Just period. You don't want to be involved in that shit at all. And if you're a guy drinking green beer, punch him in the fucking head. Let's move on. All my tolerance talk from earlier today, I've now crippled that. Let's get to the co-main. Justin Gaethje against Rafael Fizayev. Goddamn Tapology, you're the worst. There's a lot of people out there. What am I drinking? This bottle of Fireball that just showed up. There's a lot of people looking at this fight. One of whom is John Kelly, who I like is one of my goats. Goat respect for John Kelly, and he is on the Gaethje side. The Gaethje KO is 3-1. Rob Lawrence in the chat. What's up, dude? Rob, friend of the show. I think I did my show 2 days ago with Aaron. Just my 2 cents is like Gaethje stan. Aaron picked Gaethje price-wise. Man, I don't know how Gaethje wins this fight outside of a meme KO. Fizayev is so good. And I think the difference is Fizayev round 1 is going to body kick Gaethje to fucking death. All of Gaethje's losses, he's been finished. I know the Poirier one was in the 4th round. I know you could forgive the Khabib one. It's a very different stylistic fight here. But I know the way Gaethje fights. Also, man, I don't think Gaethje's in 100% health. His speech is slurred. Like, I think this dude's taking significant damage of his career having these fun fights. I think Fizayev can pick him apart. His round 3 KO is like a 10-1. I would never bet that. I hate 10-1 for a round 3 prop. Do I think he can use his wrestling? I don't, because do I think he could? Yes. But he's shown no predilection to do it. He just is. It's like he's got one mode, and that's going to be that. Gaethje hates body. I mean, every time Gaethje's been hit in the body, and look, like I want to bring this up too. Like people saying about how his chin's bad because of Oliveira. That's a very different fight. Oliveira can threaten takedowns. Gaethje's hands had to be. If you go back and watch tape, Gaethje's hands are lower than usual because he has to know he has to be able to change levels. He's not going to have to worry about that here. It's the body kicks that he's going to have to worry about, and that's going to brutalize him. I think Fizayev late. I like the round 3 decision prop for Fizayev. I haven't gotten to any of these bets yet because I'm waiting. I think money's going to come in on Gaethje during the fight night. I think casual money is going to just be like, we love Gaethje. Like, he says it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I see a very clear path for this buffo. I really do. people just, what's interesting is just to back this, like bet odds wise. So Wednesday, I looked at what's fight to end in KO, because fight doesn't go was like minus 240. Fight to end in KO was minus 175 a few days ago, and I'm like, that's an interesting way to play it. You get Gaethje's win condition, and you get Fiziev, let's say 60 to 80% of his win condition. You get that too. And now it's minus 160, and people are hit. The sharp money's coming in on this over. If you like the over, you have to like Fiziev here. So I'd also say from a DFS perspective, avoid this fight. Not that I don't think it's possible one of them scores really well. Like, play Gaethje, if anything, just at the cheap salary. But I think this is going to be really popularly owned, and I think you can fade this fight and, like, kind of do all right. He's a Raider fan. I mean, yeah, good luck with Jimmy G, bruh. Good luck with your Jimmy G. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if Gaethje ever really had a prime. He's just kind of like a fucking psycho, and, like, he may be in his prime right now. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun fight. And Sean was a DK, he knows, like, and Sean, the ownership's going to be high for this fight, man. Like, people are going to be like, the ownership for Gaethje is going to, I don't think the ownership for Fiziev is going to be high. The ownership for Gaethje is going to be very high in this fight. He's on a card where you have a lot of hard questions at low salaries. I think he's going to get some ownership because of his ceiling, but his floor is like 3. So if you're going to play DK and look for dogs, and, like, I'm going to look some stuff up for you guys at the end, but when you see in general, if you're playing DFS, when you see a card with a lot of like high juiced guys, there's 2 strategies you can take. One is you got to take low salary people that aren't going to get finished and be content with their floors, or you go contrarian and you avoid the high range completely, and you take like a bunch of 8,300, 8,400. You play that range and you play that hard. Those are the ways to go different to win 100,000. If you're playing a cash game, you're playing a double up, don't do that. But if you're trying to win $100,000 in a tournament, you have to make a different kind of lineup. And fading the entire 9K range is interesting. Like, it's one way to go. All right, we're going to get to the main event. And before we do it, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Monk appreciates it. Our company appreciates it. That's Brady and Wheezy. And I want to tell you guys, last week, Brady, Wheezy, and I combined were up like 21 units. But more importantly, Wheezy's the fucking man. Brady's the fucking man. Monk's the fucking man. And even on weeks we are bad, we're probably the funniest 4-man conglomerate out there. Like, I'm funny. I'm the funniest person on Twitter. There's zero doubt. Wheezy's fucking funny as balls. Brady is like the most underrated funny guy ever. And Monk just needs to stop watching this one fucking show on Netflix, or I'd rate him higher. But we are entertaining on this channel. We always hope you guys have a good time watching us. Like, we are here to entertain. We are here to help make all of us money. That's all I have to say. Let's talk about the main event. Now, Justin Villegas is in the chat. So, Justin, if he can get off whatever his mania shit is that he writes, can justify this. Wednesday afternoon, I broke a story. My friend, Snackapova, who talks to Colby Covington, I didn't know how to protect him. He's like, no, just go ahead. I'm not trying to take credit. He said, you want to break the story? Break the story. He is the one. He talks to Colby Covington, and I knew Wednesday that Colby Covington was going for the backup. Now, Bill Butlicker is a great name. You know what my name on DraftKings is? It's Girthy Macaque. Not Macaque, Macaque. So I hope I win Gordo's thing. He's like, yeah, Girthy Macaque won. So I broke this story. Let's talk narrative. You're not getting Colby Covington out there Wednesday unless you're worried about one of the two competitors. They're not worried about Leon Edwards here. They're worried about Kamaru Usman's knees. He hasn't done press all week. He's been very quiet. He looked okay on the scale. I'm not saying he didn't. But there's something off. There's something off with Usman now. And what's off is you're seeing a guy who lost for the first time, and he lost in a very violent, shocking way. And there's a lot of people backing Usman this week, and I don't know how you back him. If your counter argument is he was winning 3 or 4 rounds against Edwards, like, okay, here's my counter argument to that. He grabbed the cage in the third round, third or fourth. He grabbed the cage, and I don't think he wins the round without it. I think Edwards looked good. The other argument people are saying is like, man, Edwards looked tired. They fought at elevation. Now they're fighting below sea level. I don't know where. It's weird to me that a bunch of gamblers in the community are like, they're fucking marine biologists. They're all Charith Cute Story now. Marine biologist. I just know what I saw. I know that Usman's another year older. I know that Edwards is tough. I know that Edwards' wrestling is like decent. I mean, he won the first round. He got a takedown on Usman. My read on this fight is that Usman is probably going to have to go to takedowns earlier than usual. Like, he's not even going to hide it. And I think he can get caught. Doesn't mean I think he can get knocked out, but I think he can get kneed in an entry. I think Edwards is a lot better than people think. I always did. I like Edwards here. I think the plus 205 is good. I think that casual fans are going to like I said this a couple weeks ago, if you liked Gane, just wait, because people are going to parlay Jones when they have like 3 fights left in the night. I think Usman's going to be a popular parlay piece here, so I think you can wait. I like Edwards here. I like Edwards a lot, actually. And I think that I wish that Bo Nickel would have been flown out there to be the backup. Because if we're going to have an American champion, I don't really want it to be Colby Covington. I want it to be Bo Nickel. But I like that. Let me just look at chat. I think I really do think Edwards can, like, I mean, well, that's hey bro. Hey bro. I had round 3 Kyler Phillips submission at plus 3,500, and I think I went 2 months of that one in a bet. Bro, I feel that. I mean, whose win condition is the under is my question to this. I don't think Usman finishes. I don't know that Usman, and Edwards has never been, like, Edwards is tough as shit, dude. Like, I think Usman wins a boring decision. I think Edwards wins. I mean, Edwards probably has to win by finish again. I see people on this Edwards sub at 20-1, 18-1. I don't hate that, man. That's sneaky. And you had me at 20-1. You got Russia. People betting Leon now. I mean, I understand this. Like, by the way, I could look very foolish with all the comments here, Buffalo. I'm not like, I don't have this like super, super strong lean. But narrative-wise, if they're flying Colby out there, it's not because Edwards is compromised. I think Usman's probably compromised here. And let's imagine this conversation. They went to Kamaru Usman and said, look, if you can't go, you can't go. Let us know. If you can't, we have Colby Covington flying out from the U.S. And he's like, fuck this. He could have 9 torn ACLs and be like, no, there's no way he's taking my place in a title fight. That's like WWE level shit that Colby could like hit him with a chair during the card and then take his spot and then win the belt in foreign soil and be like, I mean, there's some weird shit there. I didn't, now in all fairness, I didn't bet Usman last time. I didn't, because I didn't like the -4. It was like I don't like juice lines like that. So I had not bet that fight. I just wanted to watch it. Also of note, Gordo was at the first fight. Gordo will not be at that fight. Yeah, he said that, but he's not better on the feet here. Nobody can argue that, like, who's better on the feet here. Edwards is a great striker. Like, everybody's slurping on Bilal Muhammad right now, and I love Bilal Muhammad. He had no answer, and I mean 0 answer for Leon Edwards before the eye poke. For the unfortunate, Leon Edwards was crushing him, crushing Bilal Muhammad, crushing him. No, I'm not putting the Elimination Chamber up there. I agree with the Colby take. Yeah, it is. It is. I've been over there. And I'm a soccer fan, man. I got to get over to Old Trafford to watch my, the Manchester boys at some point. But yeah, dude, like, we're all like, it's funny. I don't love this card betting wise, but I'm really interested in this card. Like, I mean, the main card is great and it's early. Like, we can get, dude, look, I don't know. I'm East Coast. I don't know about you, Al, but like, I can watch this card. I'm going to go and get fucked up afterwards. Don't tell my girl. You know what I'm saying? All right. We are done with the card. And it's less than an hour, and that's awesome. I would like to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Monk will be back when he's back. He'll be back. Until then, you deal with your drunk Uncle Lou. Happy St. Patty's Day. Look, man, if you guys, anybody watching this, if you're single, go get fucked up. Go bang some chick. Go get somebody pregnant. Go have fun on St. Patty's Day. I am going to eat the corned beef that my girlfriend has been making for literally the last 73 hours. And it will be delicious because she has manifested that thought in my head. I wish you all the best. Hit the like the channel. Go watch Brady's Best Bet show tomorrow. It's going to be early. Watch these schlubs try to catch your Uncle Lou. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great night. And protect your handbags.